Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are going to be celebrating Valentine's Day. The only way a foodie knows how. We're going to be making some Valentine's Day themed treats to give you guys some ideas this year. And we're going to be making all different kinds of treats. We have something to drink, we have a traditional dessert, and then we have some snacks. So whatever you fancy, we got an idea for everything. Also, I'm very excited because this video is sponsored by Hum Nutrition. Thank you so much. Now, before we get started, you may be asking, Ro, is that a cool new sweater? And the answer is yes. We just made this new sweater as part of my new merch drop for Valentine's Day. It is a piece of pizza and it's dripping cheese, but the drip spells love. And what are these little pepperoni shaped like? Maybe they're X's and O's. It's on my website. You can find it at rosanapansino.com, and it's for limited time, so go check it out fast before they're gone. I'm 4'10" and the XX small fits me really well. Now, without further ado, let's make some Valentine's Day yummies. Let's get started. The first thing that we're gonna be making are these geometric heart cocoa bombs. To make these, it's pretty simple. I'm gonna walk you through it. The first thing that you will need is your geometric heart mold. I found this one online. They have a bunch of them and I really like this size. You also want to get a size where you're eyeballing it, where you can see that this would fit inside of a cute little coffee cup, a cute little mug, so you can make hot cocoa, because they do have molds that are bigger, but they will not fit in a cup. So make sure you get a size that will fit inside your little cups. So the first step to making these is you want to pop your white candy melts into the microwave. Make sure it's in a heat-safe bowl, and we're going to heat them up in increments so that your chocolate or candy melts do not burn. You don't want to overdo it. So I'm going to pop it in the microwave and heat in 30-second increments. Once the candy melts are melted, we are going to paint the inside of all of these molds using a small little paintbrush. This is really fun. It makes me feel like I'm in art class. It's kind of artsy. So we're just going to dip a little bit in here and then head over here, and I like to start on the top and paint down. When I made hot cocoa bombs in the past, I like to do layers. So here you're going to want to paint about 3 to 4 layers of candy melt in the mold. So I'm putting my mold on top of a cutting board, but you can use anything in your kitchen that's flat, so when you move it, you don't want it to bend. Just paint a thin layer in all the molds, let it set for a few minutes, and then we'll do it again. We painted about 4 layers on each of these molds. Now I'm going to pop it in the refrigerator to chill and set. It chills very quickly, whether you're working with chocolate or candy melts, very fast. So that's a good thing. And we're gonna put it in for about 5 to 10 minutes. The chocolate hearts have set. I've popped them out of the silicone mold, and now we're gonna make them look super sleek. The bottom hearts I've already smoothed, and the top hearts, you can see the edges are really jagged. I'm gonna show you how to make them very smooth. It's very easy. So you're gonna pick one up, and then over on the stove, I have a small pan on a low heat. You're just gonna place it in the pan for just a few seconds. You'll see it melts immediately, and you want to see melting all the way around, and as soon as you do, you're going to pick it up, whoop, drag it, woo, and you want to do this to both sides, so when you stick it together, it's really seamless. This was great. Now we're going to do this to the rest of our hearts. All the chocolate hearts are now smooth and they're separated over here. And here I've got the good stuff, the stuff that's going to go inside the hot cocoa bomb. So of course you're going to need hot cocoa. I've got a little bit of instant hot cocoa mix. For fun, I'm adding some little heart sprinkles. They're so cute and they're pink. Then last but not least, we have some small, mini marshmallows. We're putting these on the top last because they're super fluffy. You want to put everything on one side because it makes assembling it easier. Then we're going to do this to the rest of our cocoa bombs. We've got all the good stuff inside these hot cocoa bombs. Now we've got to seal them up. In the piping bag, I have some more melted candy melts, and I've just cut off the tip. We're going to pipe an outline on top of the heart, basically the edge of the heart, and then place on the top. I like to do this part one at a time, just piping a thin layer right on the trim. And now we're going to stick on the top. I'm going to use my fingers, kind of line it up. You can kind of feel perfect. And now, ever so gently, you can use your finger or a spatula, whatever you have handy, even a toothpick. You're just going to scrape off the little excess buildup all the way around to make it look really clean. And ta-da! There you have it. Hot cocoa bomb is assembled. I'm going to do this to the other bombs, and we're not done because we're going to add a little bit of my favorite part, a decoration. Now it's my favorite time. It is time to decorate. We're gonna be decorating the tops of these hot cocoa bombs with a little bit of melted red candy melt. I put some into a little piping bag. Again, cut the tip a very small opening because I want to do a really pretty drizzle over the top. So what we're going to want to do is decorate these one at a time so that your sprinkles will stick. So you start with one and we're going to do a zigzag drizzle. We're going to get a little messy and that's okay. Just go back and forth, zigzag, zigzag, lots of color. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is cool. That's what I want. And now sprinkle on some hearts. We've got pink hearts, red hearts, and just some regular white sprinkles. And you want to sprinkle these on right away so that they'll stick. Yeah. Look how cool it looks. I feel like I'm a fancy chef at a fancy restaurant and I'm like, ooh, here's your Michelin dessert. Then you do this to the rest of your hot cocoa bombs and they're ready to serve. Ta-da! And there you have it. Here are the geometric heart hot cocoa bombs that we made. Now that we've made these, I get to enjoy one for myself. We're gonna test these cute little bombs out. You're just gonna take a bomb, place them into a cute mug, like that, and pour hot milk over the bomb. Do, 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 do. Look at that, it popped open. It's so cute. And the little marshmallows and the hearts are all floating. This is just like a nice little chocolate cup of love. Oh, wow, that's good. These were an absolute win. They work perfectly. If you've got anyone who loves chocolate or a little hot cocoa for this Valentine's Day, this might be the perfect idea for them. Next, we are gonna be making the ultimate dessert. We're gonna be making a cake that looks like a box of chocolates, and actually, it's gonna have the chocolates. So the cake that we're making today is a heart-shaped red velvet cake. I feel like a red velvet cake is the perfect cake for Valentine's Day. Also, I'll be posting all of the ingredients and their measurements in the description down below, so if you want to make this cake and follow along at home, you can. First thing to do, very easy, we're gonna whisk together some dry ingredients. So over here, we've got a medium-sized bowl with some flour, and we're going to add our cocoa powder, ooh, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of baking soda. Then, using a whisk, you're gonna whisk together till well combined. You wanna make sure that all of your dry ingredients are the same color. You can't see the separation anymore. Once well mixed, we're just gonna leave it here off to the side and move on to our big mixing bowl. In our big mixing bowl, we're gonna cream together our butter and sugar. With these measurements, there's a lot more sugar than butter, so it's not gonna get as light and fluffy as when we normally cream together butter and sugar, but that's okay. So we're gonna just scoop this with a spatula into the bowl. You want your butter to be at room temperature, nice and soft. You don't want it to be cold coming right out of the refrigerator, and you don't want melted butter. Cream the butter for just a minute. I'm using an electric hand mixer just to make things a little bit easier. Add your sugar and mix again. That's looking good. That's what we want. The goal is kinetic sand texture. All right, now we're gonna add our vanilla extract and we're gonna add 3 eggs. I've already cracked them. So just bloop, 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 and a little vanilla extract. Whoop. Now mix for 2 minutes on a medium speed. Once mixed, we're gonna set aside and move over here. Pour ½ cup of whole milk to a bowl of sour cream. You might think, sour cream in a cake? Are you crazy? That sounds weird. Let me tell you, this is a secret weapon. It adds so much moisture to your cake. It is so good. And whisk together. Now this bowl's too big, but it's what I had handy. So I'm just gonna pour my sour cream and milk inside. Now whisk together your whole milk and sour cream. We're gonna alternate adding the dry ingredients and the milk ingredients to our butter mixture, starting and ending with dry. So you're gonna add 1/3 of the dry, mix it up, 1/2 of the milk, red food coloring dye, mix it up, 2/3 of the dry, mix it up, 2/2 of the milk, mix it up, and the last of the dry, and mix it up. The batter is all done and I divided it between our 4 baking pans. We have 4 6-inch pans, 2 of them are 6-inch circles and 2 of them are 6-inch squares. Don't forget to grease and line your pans, and when I say line your pans, I mean cut out a piece of parchment paper. I cut out 2 circles to place here and 2 squares to place at the bottom of your pans before you pour in your batter. So when you're taking your cakes out, they come out with ease. There's no problems with sticking, at all. Now it's time to bake the cakes. You're gonna heat your oven to 350 degrees and bake for about 25 to 30 minutes until you put in a toothpick and it comes out clean. My cakes are looking good. They're pretty flat because I let them cool upside down. It helps create a little flatness. If your cakes are a little domed, you can use a leveler or a sharp cutting knife to cut them off so they're a little bit flatter. Now we're going to make a heart cake. In front of me I have a heart cake board and I've got a turntable to make icing a little bit easier. And in these piping bags, I have 2 different kinds of icing. In the middle of the cake, between the cake layers, we're gonna be using a cream cheese icing, and then to decorate and ice around the cake for a little bit more structure, we're gonna be using an American buttercream. The cream cheese icing, you guys, tastes so good. It pairs really well with the red velvet cake, so we had to use it because when you bite into it, the flavors are so complimentary. And if you wanna make this at home, I will put the recipe down below. It's very easy to make. To make our heart-shaped cake, we're gonna first start with a square cake. Take this little square cake, bring it right over, and you're gonna place it, boom. Then take one of your round 6-inch cakes, cut in half, and place the sides on top. Now to ice the top of this, I'm gonna do a double icing technique using my American buttercream. I'm gonna pipe the outline. It's a little stiffer, it's gonna hold its shape really well, and I'm doing this so that it will hold the cream cheese icing in place a little bit better because the cream cheese icing is a little bit softer, silkier. Instead of a white picket fence, we have white American buttercream. Once the icing's on top, using an offset spatula, just apply gentle pressure. Gonna even it out, make it nice and smooth, so the cake that we place on top will lie flat. Once iced, we're gonna stack on the second layer. Take your second square cake, this time flip it upside down and place it in the same spot. Same thing with the round, we're gonna cut it in half, flip them upside down, stick them together. I love this technique because you don't need to carve your cakes because as you can see, things get messy. This cute little cake is assembled and now it is time to ice. We're gonna cover the entire cake with a little American buttercream. Start icing the top and work your way down. Once you have your cake covered in icing, use your offset spatula to smooth it out. Apply gentle pressure and spin and spin and spin. Woohoo! The cake is completely iced. We're gonna pop it in the fridge to chill while we roll out our fondant. We're going to make the lid of the candy box. In front of me, I've rolled out some red fondant. And if you want to do this the day before to have all these pieces done and ready, you can. This part has to completely dry and harden before we place it onto the cake. So you can make these a day in advance, or you can add a little bit of Tylose powder to your fondant, which will help it harden faster. I'm going to be placing a heart cake plate on top. We're creating a lid of a candy box right here, and it has to be a little bit larger than the heart shape itself, so we're going to be cutting it out, eyeballing it about 1/2 inch bigger than the actual heart. You can use a small sharp cutting knife, be careful don't get your fingers, or an X-Acto knife, whatever you have around the house. Eyeball it and try to follow the shape of the heart about 1/2 inch out. Remove the excess fondant and allow this big heart to set. Now set this aside and I'm going to roll out this fondant to make a strip that will go around the edge of the heart. And then using a sharp cutting knife, I'm going to cut the end right here, boop, and up here, boop. And now we're going to attach them to our heart. In this little bowl, we've got some watered down royal icing and a small paintbrush. I'm going to paint a little bit all the way around the edge. We're going to outline your heart and then we're going to stick these strips on top. Gently pick up your strips and we're going to place them around right on top of the heart. All right, this is working. It's still a little bit fragile. I'm going to set it off to the side to completely dry. Pop the cake out of the fridge. I covered the board with a little black fondant for decoration. And now in front of me, rolled out another piece of fondant. We're going to be cutting out another heart. This one we are going to be placing right directly on top of the cake. Using a sharp cutting knife or X-Acto knife, cut out your heart. And this time we're going to be cutting out the exact shape of the heart. Okay, come with me, little heart. Line it up at the top, then smooth it out. In front of me, I cut out 2 large rectangles. They are 4.5 inches by 16 inches, and I cut out 2 of them. We're going to place them on the sides of the cake, and they're gonna stick up a little bit, like a lip, to look like a box of chocolate. Look at that. That's that nice lip all the way around. Now we're gonna do the same thing to the other side. Last fondant decoration detail to make is the bow. I like this because it's a little bit more freehand. You don't have to be exact with measurements. I've already made the bow here, and I'm going to show you what I did. Just make 2 of these. You roll out a little strip of fondant and flip it over, pinch right here, and let it sit, dry, and harden. And look at that. For the bottom of the bow, again, it's just cutting 2 little strips and cutting them at a diagonal angle. To get everything to attach, sometimes I use water, but we are gonna be using a little bit of watered down royal icing. Just gonna paint a little bit at the end, boop, 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 and the end here, and then stick them together and place on the top. And then, there you go. This is what I did to make a bow, but there are so many different ways to make bows with fondant. You can really get creative, and you can give it your own style. I flipped the fondant lid upside down, and I'm gonna attach the bow very carefully. I'm gonna be very gentle picking up the bow, very gentle placing the bow. I'm gonna put a little bit of our watered down royal icing, our edible glue. I'm gonna put a little bit on the back here. The cake is almost done. The last step is putting in our chocolates. I bought some of my favorite Valentine's Day chocolates. Now we're just gonna place these on the top of our cake. And ta-da! There you have it. Here is the box of chocolate cake. It's 2 desserts in one. Not only did we make a delicious red velvet cake, but we decorated it and filled it with chocolate, so it's also a box of chocolates with a removable lid. We just gotta be gentle. Here it goes. And the chocolates are inside. This may be one of my favorite cakes we've ever made. Also, I made my cake a 2-layer cake because I love cake and I want more cake, but if you make the cake a 1-layer, it will look much more realistic. This cake is so fun. I'm obsessed. Now, on to our last Valentine's Day treat, which is a yummy little snack. The last treat that we're making are these strawberry roses. They're perfect for a healthy Valentine's Day snack, or you could even eat them for breakfast with some pancakes. They're really easy to make and super fun. Let me show you how. In front of me, I've got a bunch of fresh strawberries and a cutting board. When you're making this treat, try to pick strawberries that are all about the same shape and size. The rounder, the better. Not those really long strawberries, those won't look as cute. We want shorter and round, that's the goal. Take one of your strawberries and you're gonna place it green down. I always think of this as the butt of the strawberry, and we just put it butts down, like so. And with your fingers, you're gonna hold the top of your strawberry, take your small cutting knife, and about halfway down the strawberry, you're gonna do a cut, and you don't want it to be too deep. You want it to be pretty thin, and don't cut it all the way down. Leave it connected at the bottom so it can flap out like a little petal. Then turn your strawberry, and without cutting this one, you leave it flipped out. We're gonna do the same thing, trying not to cut that previous one. We're gonna try to make 5 petals, but every rose is a little bit different. If they're a little bit different size, it's okay. This is looking really cute, and you can see if you just pull these out a little bit, they look like petals. Now we're gonna do one more round of cuts, and you do them in between the petals. Like if here's the 2 petals, petal and a petal, we're gonna cut right in between. And when we're cutting down, I'm also gonna angle it inward a little bit, like we're coring the center of the strawberry. So I'm gonna be cutting in, kind of inward, like so. And then here, same thing, inward. I can just twist, pop this out of here. Oh, yeah! Using a knife or a toothpick, you're just gonna flare the petals out to poof it out more so it really looks like a rose. Then we're gonna do this to the rest of our strawberries. Here's all the strawberry roses. They look so cute. I made a dozen of them. I'm gonna be doing another one. We're gonna be doing a baker's dozen. Once you have all the strawberry roses cut, there's so many different things you can do. You can serve these on a plate for breakfast. You could do pancakes, scrambled eggs. I really wanna make a bouquet, so I'm gonna be sticking them on top of these wooden skewers. So just take one of your strawberries and boop, 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 For a little vase, I'm just using a large mason jar. Look at this! I mean, you can even give someone a single rose. I'm just gonna keep skewing the rest of these strawberries. I got some greenery over here, and I'm just gonna try to arrange it, make it super cute. And ta-da! Here are the 3 Valentine's Day treats that we made today. We made geometric heart hot cocoa bombs, adorable. A box of chocolates cake with actual chocolates inside, my favorite, and a strawberry rose bouquet. We have a lot of variety, different ideas, and types of treats that you can make for Valentine's Day. I'll be taking pictures of everything and posting it all over social media. If any of you recreate these treats, please take a picture and don't forget to tag me. Use #RowRecipe so that I can find it, like it, and show you some love. I love seeing your baking creations. It makes my day. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, click subscribe, it's free, and ring the bell to receive notifications every time I post a new video, because we're gonna be doing lots of fun recipes this year. And let me know in the comments down below what other kind of treat videos you'd like to see me make. Thanks again for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful Valentine's Day. And if you'd like to watch any other videos, you can click up here or up here. And again, a big thank you to Hum Nutrition for sponsoring this video. I'll put a link down below.